Today is Friday, April 12th. What to know about the arrest of the WikiLeaks founder and why a top medical association is pushing back against a new military policy. Plus, the results from a NASA twins study. Who else is listening when you talk to Alexa? And get ready for Game of Thrones. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is in custody. Remember, WikiLeaks is the website that leaks documents from secret military information to Hillary Clinton's emails during her presidential campaign. Now the BBC reports Assange is facing a charge back in the U.S. He was arrested yesterday in London. He's accused of conspiring to hack into a top-secret Pentagon computer network in 2010. He allegedly worked with a former U.S. intelligence analyst, Chelsea Manning, to gain access to the computer, and then began posting the secret documents on his website. Some have praised him, saying he helped expose evidence of wrongdoing by U.S. forces in Iraq and Afghanistan. So far, at least, the criminal case is not about the fact that he posted the information online for the public to see. It's about a computer crime. Still, Assange's lawyer told the New York Times his client got information from a source and published it, making the argument that all journalists should be worried about charges like this. Even before his arrest, Assange knew he was in trouble in the U.S. For several years, he's been hiding out in Ecuador's embassy in Britain, until, that is, his host kicked him out and invited police in to literally drag him into custody. It could be years before Assange is actually in a courtroom, though. He needs to be extradited to the U.S., which some experts say could take a while. The Trump administration's new regulation for transgender troops is set to take effect today. The new policy bans transgender people from the military unless they, quote, correct those deficiencies, or in other words, remain in their biological sex. Well, the American Medical Association is pushing back, telling the AP that the policy and its wording are wrong. That, for one, transgender people don't have a deficiency, and there's no medical science behind this decision. The military's response? That the word is more military lingo than a medical term, meaning someone can't do the military duties needed. At least for now, transgender troops who are already serving before this ban went into effect today can keep serving, but many have said they feel demoralized. The National Enquirer is for sale. The parent company, American Media, says it's selling the Enquirer and two other tabloids and focusing on some other magazines and platforms. The Enquirer has been involved in its fair share of scandals lately, including one with President Trump. American Media is the one that allegedly paid $150,000 for the rights to a woman's story about an affair with Trump and then kept the story quiet right before the presidential election. Federal prosecutors later gave the company an immunity deal if execs cooperated and promised to stay out of trouble for a few years. Well, that didn't last long. Now prosecutors are looking into accusations that the tabloid tried to extort and blackmail Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, who also owns The Washington Post. In fact, CNN says Bezos is set to meet with prosecutors about this as soon as this week. It's known as the NASA twins study. NASA studied a pair of identical twin astronauts. Scott Kelly went to space for 1 year, and his brother Mark stayed on Earth. NASA then looked at both of their bodies to see the changes a lot of time and space can cause. And this week, NASA revealed some of the detailed findings for the first time. The astronaut in space saw changes in his weight, eyes, immune system, and even his genes. USA Today reports chromosome tips usually get shorter as we get older, but in space, the astronauts got longer. And the New York Times reports he also had extra genetic mutations and lower scores on cognition tests. But Gizmodo says it's all considered minor changes, and for the most part, his health went back to normal within 6 months back on Earth. NASA says this is just the beginning of studying human health in space. Much more news still ahead, but first I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Zola. Zola is truly the easiest way to plan your wedding. You get the modern tools you need from engagement to wedding and decorating your first home. We're talking a free wedding website, your dream wedding registry, affordable save the dates and invitations, and super easy to use planning tools. And the best part is it's all online and all in one place. It all starts with the free wedding website that takes just minutes to set up and looks fantastic. Then you put your Zola registry right on that website, making it really easy for your guests as well. I've used Zola as a guest, and I was so impressed. I wish I knew about it when I got married. It's so personal and it's so fun. You can get everything from kitchenware to Sonos speakers or even a stay at an Airbnb. You can create funds for your honeymoon or your future home. To start your free wedding website and also get $50 off your registry on Zola, go to zola.com/newsworthy. That's Zola, Z-O-L-A, zola.com/newsworthy to start your free wedding website and get $50 off your registry. Now back to the news. When you talk to Amazon's Alexa, someone else may listen. Bloomberg reports thousands of Amazon workers in several countries may be listening to what you've said to your smart speaker. Once you use the so-called wake word, Alexa, to wake up your device, what you say is then recorded, transcribed, and fed back to the company. Apparently, each employee reviews as many as 1,000 audio clips per shift. CNN reports Amazon admits this, that it's meant to make Alexa better because employees can help make sure Alexa has a better grasp on human speech and help the voice assistant give better responses next time. But Amazon adds it takes security and privacy of customers seriously and does not keep any of the audio files. By the way, you can opt out of letting Amazon use your voice recordings in this way. Just go to the privacy section on your Alexa app. Uber has officially now filed its paperwork to go public. TechCrunch says the company will list on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol, you guessed it, Uber. This comes just a couple of weeks after competitor Lyft debuted on the public markets. CNBC says Uber's initial public offering, or IPO, will likely be much bigger and one of the largest this year. Uber is expected to go public in May. Well, if you want Samsung's first foldable phone, today is the day you have to reserve it. USA Today says Samsung will send out invitations to people who are interested in the Galaxy Fold. After getting the invite, customers can reserve their place in a virtual line, and then that'll allow you to pre-order it on Monday. Remember, the Galaxy Fold is basically a tablet that folds in half into a phone, and it's not cheap. It costs about $2,000. A quick update for you about Disney's new streaming service, Disney+. Disney now says it'll cost $6.99 a month, which is nearly half Netflix's standard plan of $12.99. It shocked a lot of media watchers, and Variety says it's an aggressive move to make a big splash and try to get a lot of subscribers right away. It'll have its popular franchises like Marvel and Star Wars, and in fiscal year 2020, Disney plans to spend $1 billion on original programming. The new service launches on November 12th. The highly anticipated final season of Game of Thrones premieres this weekend. Variety says the season will have 6 episodes, and most of them will be longer than an hour. In fact, the 3rd episode is almost an hour and a half long, which is the series' longest episode ever. For fans looking for a sneak peek, Deadline says 60 Minutes on CBS will have the only preview clip that's set to air Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and that'll be right before Season 8 of Game of Thrones premieres at 9 p.m. on HBO. Coachella starts today, the popular desert music festival in California. It's a 2-weekend event. E! News says Ariana Grande, Childish Gambino, and Tame Impala are headlining. Other stars like Casey Musgraves and Weezer will also perform. And the second weekend, on Easter Sunday, Kanye West will be doing a Sunday service. If you're not one of the 100,000 people going each day to this, you can watch a live stream of dozens of the performances on Coachella's YouTube channel. And that's it for today. You are ready to go. If you got value out of today's show, I would be so grateful if you share it on social media and tell all your friends to be listening to The Newsworthy. Thank you so much in advance. And of course, a big thank you to all the Newsworthy insiders who are supporting the show. If you're not signed up yet and you want a little swag, you can learn more in the episode description of your podcast app or go to thenewsworthy.com/insider. As always, you can read more about any of the stories we talked about. Just go to thenewsworthy.com, click episodes, and look for today's date. You'll find all the story sources and links right there. The Newsworthy is ready for you to listen every weekday by 4 in the morning. I'll be back with more news on Monday. Have a great day.